Hey, hey, Blooming Sales. Go ahead and give me a shout when you're on so that I know you are with me. Today I'm just popping on to do one of our open house. Well, I'm going to do all of them. But this video is the open house recipe for the Simply Salsa. This recipe has been around forever and ever, amen. I really recommend that you stick to the way that Tupperware has the recipe outlined because it uses such a good amount of our kit, and then it also gives you an opportunity to talk about some of our kit builders and things that you can supplement the kits with. So I'm going to walk you through it just like I were doing it at an open house. Well, sort of. It's hard to do it just like I'm at an open house because there's nobody here, like nobody. But so I'm going to show you the way that I make simple salsa. And you guys, here's the thing. This was the recipe that they gave us when the Quick Chef Pro was in the kit, which is when I started. And I still make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of salsa. So this is a great recipe. Don't feel like you have to get fancy at your parties. Use your kit and use this recipe because it really does show off our amazing products in our kit. And when you are using our kit in this way, then people are going to want to join your team and be a part of that because they can see how simple it is to be a Tupperware consultant because it's simple but not easy, right, guys? And so I'm going to go ahead and let a couple more people hop on. So I'm also going to grab something out of the bag I forgot. So let's do that. Did you grab that? Oh, no, I did grab it. Okay, let's see. Oh, we have a few people on. Okay, awesome. So if I had a new consultant with me, first of all, I would discuss with her prior to the party whether she's going to buy the ingredients or I'm going to buy the ingredients. I'll be honest with you guys. When I was holding a lot of parties, I used to buy the ingredients for my parties. And the reason that I did that is because I had shown up to a party one time to do a grand opening party and she forgot the tomatoes. And so we used the Power Chef to show off chopping the onions and that kind of stuff, but it was like a huge letdown. And then her guests like tried to support her and like ate it anyway. It was disgusting. So since that moment, I started buying my own ingredients just to make sure that I had everything that I need. And that's kind of how I've always approached my business is, would it be nice if it ran XYZ way? Sure, but it's my job to make sure that it runs the way that I want it to run. So at the grand opening party especially, she might be a little nervous and she might forget things. So it's up to you. It's your business. I did price out just getting all the ingredients for today. I'm not sure if you guys saw that post, but I bought all the ingredients separately except for milk, and you only need a cup of milk for the last recipe. And so I bought all of that separately, and it was less than $20. And I bought dairy-free pepper jack cheese for the omelet that we're going to make in the next video, and that was seriously like 3 times as much as regular pepper jack cheese. So it would probably be about $15 if you guys bought the ingredients. So think about it. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but it's probably a wise investment in your newest person. Plus, sometimes it's a struggle for them to get the money to even get the kit, and you don't want to put an immediate burden on them again when they haven't even made any money yet. So okay, so that's my little soapbox on that. So it looks like we got a few people on, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. My name is Angie Chlemme, and I'm the business leader here for Blooming Sales. And today I'm making Simply Salsa. This salsa recipe is easy peasy, lime squeezy, because we're going to do a lime in here. And it really does just use all of the ingredient or all of the tools that you need in your kit or that you already have in your kit. I have a couple of things supplementing my kit that I would recommend since this is your first party. I would recommend that you grab these as you start to earn your freebies because they really are core pieces that will make your demonstration a little bit stronger, but you don't need them. So you can use just what you have in your kit for a very, very long time and have a lot of success in Tupperware. The pieces that I've added to the kit are the chip and dip bowl. And this is just something, since I make a lot of salsa, this is a piece that I'm able to show off. It's also a higher ticket item. It's $45. What I love about it is it has this beautiful scalloped edges, and these 2 dip bowls actually come off of the bowl. These are microwave safe without the seal on it. So I love these because if you're doing queso or spinach dip, you can just pop it back in the microwave and reheat it as your party continues to go on. And then it does come with a seal, so you can pop it in the fridge and overnight when your party's done. It also has this cover that is divided, so if you wanted to do like a veggie tray or something that needed to stay cold, you could fill this up with ice, plop this on top, and then it will keep your veggies cool all day. Or you can use it as a pedestal for your chip and dip, or a matching set if you're doing entertaining all day. So I like the chip and dip because there's lots of things for it. I always say if you're gonna have big pieces in your kitchen, make sure you can use them lots and lots and lots. And we were just joking when I went to pull out my chip and dip, I probably have 6 or 7 stacked up in my kitchen because I do use it so often. So I've added the chip and dip to my kit. And then in addition to that, I do have the Tupperware cutting board. This is a great thing to add as soon as you start earning your freebies. Don't pay for your Tupperware. Once you're a consultant, we're going to work on how and teaching you how not to have to pay full price for your Tupperware. So don't pay for this. Be patient. Earn it from your recruiter. Earn it from me, or use your freebies that you get from your grand opening party for the cutting board, because that's a good piece to have. And the third thing that I added to my kit was my Zest and Press. And my Zest and Press, we're going to talk a little bit about when I actually squeeze the lime. You'll get to see it in action. So I'm going to save the details on that one, but this is something that I added to the kit. Everything else I'm using today are all kit items. And so again, these are auxiliary things that you can add as you go, not something you need right away for the salsa. So for the salsa, we're gonna use our Power Chef. And our Power Chef is an emulsifier. It really is designed to chop up your ingredients to a fine degree. So you're gonna see that when I chop the onion. So we can just go ahead and get started. If you've just pulled your Power Chef out of your bag, you want to make sure that you pull this rubber ring out of the inside and plop it onto the outside. And that's it's a no skid ring, so it's going to keep it from sliding around on your countertop. But if you leave it inside, it's going to interfere with the blade. So make sure that you pull that out, pop it on the outside. Then into the Power Chef, I'm just going to toss in some red onion, and I've just quartered it. I've even seen it done if it's a smaller red onion, you can just cut it in half and throw it in there. So I'm going to do about half of a red onion. I don't want it too oniony. I want the colors to really shine through when I do the salsa. Plus, the second recipe that I'm going to make is the Santa Fe omelet, and that needs a little bit of red onion. So that allowed me to save costs by using the red onion in both dishes. I'm also going to do half of a jalapeno, and I pulled the seeds out of it. And then I'm going to do some cilantro. And my family really likes cilantro, so I'm going to do kind of a lot of cilantro. And I'm just going to shove that down in there. You can actually use the stems of your cilantro, which is going to save you money because you can use all of the cilantro, because it is going to chop it so finely that you won't even know if it's stem or leaf, because it's going to be little bitty bits. Okay, so once I have that in there, I'm going to go ahead and give it a chop. I'm going to pull the liquid cone off. Okay, so I shake it a little bit just to make sure that everything's back down on the blade. And then at this point, I always pull it open and I let them see inside, so they can really see how finely chopped everything is with just a few pulls. So you want them to understand how what this tool does. If they're looking for something that's more of a pico de gallo consistency, then that would be better in our Quick Chef Pro. And we do have chopping, it's a chopping system. So none of our tools work alone. They all do different jobs. So our Power Chef is really designed for emulsifying things like baby food. You can do cake batters, that kind of stuff in here. The thicker stuff, like the chunkier stuff, you want to do in our Quick Chef Pro. And then our Chop and Prep is perfect for if you just have just a little bit of herbs. You can do nuts in there. A small onion is really what our Chop and Prep really shines with. But I love to do cilantro because we do a lot of cilantro and onion in here. Okay, so now that that's in there, I am going to squeeze a lime into it. And when you're cooking with citrus, you can actually use less sodium, so you don't have to add salt to it because the citrus naturally enhances the flavors. So our Zest and Press is a normal citrus press, but what I love about it is it has this zester that comes apart. So it fits on this top part. If you were zesting for something like baking and you need to measure out how much zest you have, then you would zest on top of the container and then use your measuring cup or measuring spoon to measure out that zest. Or you can zest right into the dish, and that's perfectly fine too. In this case, we're not using the zest, although you could. We're actually just going to use the lime juice. So you put it flat side down into the citrus press, the zest and press, and then you're going to squeeze all that lime juice out. And I always do that part a little bit above the Power Chef so they can really see how much I'm getting in there. So I'm going to do both halves because we like it pretty limey. All right. And then I'm going to use canned tomatoes. And the reason that I use canned tomatoes in my demonstration is, one, I grew my Tupperware business in Colorado, and there's never good tomatoes there, honestly. And so I've just gotten in the habit of using canned tomatoes when they're picked at their peak ripeness. But the other thing is you have control over how much it is. So sometimes if you tell your consultant, oh, I just need a couple of tomatoes, you're not going to have quite enough tomatoes to make it salsa. It's going to be more on the onion side. And so this is just better control, in my opinion. Also, if you have the can opener, you can show that off. I always buy the pop top when I'm doing a grand opening party so that they see that they can use everything in the kit, if that makes sense. Yes, Stephanie, you're right. It was all tear-free. So I'm just going to dump that in. And then I am going to add some Southwest Chipotle into our salsa. And this is something that your consultant doesn't have, but it's a great way for her to date a party right away because people want our seasoning ingredients. And as a consultant, she has access to those recipes. And so he or she can set up a seasoning party right away, stock their Tupperware business with all the seasoning that they need for all the parties that they're going to hold. So you'll notice in all 3 recipes that I'm doing today, we're actually using some Tupperware seasoning in all of them. And that is by design. So don't skip that part, because that really is setting them up for an opportunity to date future parties. So I'm going to grab my Southwest Chipotle. And then I'm just going to use my measuring spoon, which you all know I never measure anything, so that's like kind of pointless. But so we'll just measure it just so I can talk about the spoons. You know, these perfectly fit into our spice containers like this. And then it has that flat edge so I can scrape it off and then pour it in. So don't skimp on that. That is just Southwest Chipotle. If you get into a bind, you can use taco seasoning, but really make it, you guys. I'm telling you. Oh, I didn't put the garlic in there either. So I'm going to do a couple cloves of garlic. The reason I didn't put that in there yet is I wanted you guys to know if you take your chef's knife that comes in your kit and you bang it on the garlic clove, it'll break open that garlic clove and it makes it super easy to peel. So don't spend time peeling those garlic cloves, just bust them open. So you guys can see that. So I'm going to throw that in there. Then I'm going to give it some chops. And you guys can see, hopefully you can see, I'm going to stop doing it so you can hear me. When you guys are pulling that, the liquid, when you have liquid in it, it starts to go to the top and to the bottom, and it's scraping the sides basically for you and putting all those ingredients back down into the salsa. You want that to happen. That's the emulsifying action that makes this Power Chef amazing. So be sure that you give it a few minutes of it doing that so that it's pulling everything back down into the salsa. Okay. So then I'm going to pull it out, pull the blade out, show it to her. If I had people joining me on Facebook Live, which you do want to go live on your new consultant's page so that her friends and family know that she joined Tupperware. So you're going to go live for this part. You want to show everybody who's live the salsa. Ooh, the camera's like real dark. Hold on. There we go. Is that better? So show the salsa. And then take your silicone spatula that came in the kit, dump it into your chip and dip bowl. Let everybody taste in the house. So this is when you can get husbands and kids on camera to help sell it. So have them come over, show us what's amazing. Our silicone spatula is good when you're cooking, and it also has a sharp corner and a rounded corner, so no matter what type of container you're scraping out, it does it easy peasy. So that's it. That's the Simply Salsa. Really easy recipe. You want it to be easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Really use that recipe that Tupperware has given us and use the kit in every way possible so that your new person feels confident about the purchase that they made and they know that they can do this business and they don't have to have a ton of extra stuff in order to have success, because you really don't. Even the things that I added, you don't have to have. Those are just like little perks of it. But it does give them something to add to their wish list to help them get started, because these grand opening events, these open houses really are designed to help launch them and get some free product in their hands right away and that kind of stuff. So hopefully this helped you guys. If it helped you, leave in the comments what you learned and what you're going to do at your open house that I gave you today, some tips and tricks that I gave you that you're going to implement into your open house. And then I'm going to cut this one off. I'm going to go live again in just a few minutes. And next up, we're going to do the, I think it's called the Santa Fe omelet. So I will see you back. Bye.